right, let's go.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.
Last night we went to the state fair. We love the state fair. We go every single year. I've been going to that state fair for 25 years. Love going to the fair. Love taking the kids. It was my favorite thing to do. It was, even when I was poor, even when we didn't have a lot of money, I'd love to save up whatever money I had and go. We've gone to the fair with just enough to get in, get some tickets, and one like snack. In 25 years, I haven't been able to win in 2 games that I'm desperately trying to win in. One is the ring toss.
Has anyone won today? Should tell you to say that.
I've spent $900,000 on those little red rings and tossed them on those bottles and never have gotten close to getting one on top of the bottles. I want to win that. And the one that I've been more obsessed with than even the ring tossing one is that stupid BB gun with the star. So all you gotta do is a circle around the star and knock it all out. And there's this little tiny Chad, hanging Chad from Florida in the 2000 election, just a tiny red Chad hanging there like by a thread. I want to win that game too. Those are the 2 games that have haunted me since going to fairs. Anyway, this week I'm going to Columbus, Ohio. I'm going to the Ohio State University where I'm speaking at their 150-year celebration. So this is a big deal. They've invited speakers to come in and share their thoughts, and I'm going to go do that. Then I'm taking a late flight to San Francisco, and I am attending a Founders Day for one of the VCs. They put this together. It's a mixer. It's a networking event. They bring in all their founders from the startups that they're working with, and then they invite people like me and others to come in and see what they're doing and what their ideas are and what problem they're trying to solve, and to find out if you might be interested in helping them. I'm staying in San Francisco for another day. I have a bunch of meetings there, and then flying back to Phoenix for Friday, which I'm really excited about. I get to go talk to IB students. I don't even know how many students. I should find out how many students are going to be there if they told me. 400 high achieving students in the IB program, and I get to go talk to them. It's my favorite thing in the world to do, is to go talk to students. I want to talk to them about not getting a job and instead figuring out what problem they want to solve and how they want to solve it, and not to think about the world in terms of jobs. I wish when I was younger somebody would have said that to me. I wish somebody would have said, don't think about getting a job, forget a job. Go solve a problem. I grew up where the mindset was you got an education and you got a job. You got it because it was stable. But we don't live in that world anymore. So I want to talk to these students about solving a problem and potentially starting on their own. We live in a long tail economy, and if there's ever been a time to start your own thing, it's right now. So that's what I want to talk to them about. So that's what this video is about. I want to change the mindset. I don't want you to think about getting a job. What's your next job? I get those emails all the time from people. Hey Jamie, I heard you speak last spring at blank blank event. You were amazing. All caps. I'd love to learn more about your work, what the work of Google is. And my first question is, how does one become an education evangelist? You don't become an education evangelist. You are born an education evangelist. And second question, how do I get on that path and get a job like that at your organization? I get those emails all the time, the how do I get a job at your company email. We've never had an opportunity like this in ever, where you can go do your own thing and start your own thing and solve problems that you're passionate about. That's what I want to talk about this week. I gotta go finish packing because I'm taking off tomorrow. I should see if it's gonna snow. Late. Headed to the airport on my way to Columbus, Ohio. Always late. Yes, I am. Always late. It's one time when Claire actually works. That's me.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, good.
Do you have any more bags?
Nope, just this. Good, how you doing? This thing just keeps going. I'm actually on the Ohio State University campus. There's a stadium. And I have a dinner in 2 hours, so I'm going to walk there. It's about an hour away walking. I'm gonna shoot some film on the way out. All right, let's get out of here. So we're at the Ohio State University campus. Just watched the marching band practicing for their big game. I don't know what the big game is. Anyway, we have been working since the beginning of time. If you come work for 30 years for us, we will take care of you for the rest of your life. And they gave you a pension. Jennifer's grandfather, who's 97 years old, worked at a plant until he retired at 65 years old and has been collecting pension ever since. We don't live in that world anymore. And we could be upset about it, or we can see it as an opportunity because we live in a different world. We live in a world where you can focus on a specific niche and go build something, go solve that specific problem.
Soon we'll burn down into ashes.
I remember when I was graduating from college. I remember freaking out because we were in the middle of a recession. So it's 1991, and all I kept thinking about was, where am I gonna get a job? That mentality of getting a job was where my head was, because that's all I knew. That idea of you graduate from high school, you graduate from college, and you go get a job. It was somebody special who was an entrepreneur, somebody who they wanted to be their own boss. That was the philosophy behind entrepreneurs. And when I was a kid, even if I wanted to start my own business, it would be impossible. Let's say I wanted to open up a store in New York City, getting enough capital to build a place out, going out and getting inventory of whatever the common thing is that people in my neighborhood wanted. I had to put all that in a store. Today, any kid with a laptop can open up a store. That's the world that we live in today. So we have to think about work differently.
We keep fighting in the taxi. I hate that I need you. Hate that I need you.
Yes.
Play it cool.
Hey,
Just keep
nice to
on
meet you.
dancing.
Yes.
Soon we'll burn down.
I'm walking towards the union where this event is taking place.
Play it with matches.
I love walking before a talk. Just kind of wakes you up and you get to see the place.
Second chances. Oh, you keep taking me for granted.
This morning presentation went really well. Got a chance to talk to the president of Ohio State University. Love to talk to him about some other ideas that he has. Now I'm headed back to the union where we're doing some panel discussions or some group discussions, and I'm part of that. So bringing my stuff so that I can take off from there, headed to San Francisco this evening. Thank you very much. On my way to San Francisco.
All I ever wanted was to make us work. Cause I don't wanna spend my life without you. Nothing else matters when you say my name. I just want you. Running out of second chances.
Thank you very much.
You keep taking me for granted. Cause I don't wanna do this any longer.
It's San Francisco. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Wow, this is a crazy ass hotel. I am never gonna be able to find the elevator tomorrow morning. There's no way I'm gonna remember where the elevator is. Now I'm headed to Founders Day, a gathering of a bunch of startups that I get to go interact with and talk to. So I'm excited about that. All right, so let's go. It's gonna take me 16 minutes to find my way out of this hotel.
Me imagino tus labios, pero en otra mujer, por más que quiera.
Just finished spending time at Founders Day. Their portfolio is focused on problems and solutions in the education space, in higher ed, in K-12, and in the corporate world. And I got a chance to talk to about 20 of these companies, set up some meetings for other conversations. Out of all the people I talked to today, not one person asked me, how can I get a job at Google? That's not what they were interested in. They were genuinely interested in solving a problem and wanted my perspective or wanted my help in trying to solve that problem. And obviously it leads into this theme about stop this idea of looking for work, right? This idea that's been put in our heads since the beginning of time. What I want you to do instead is think about a problem that you want to solve. How do you create a solution for that problem? Whether that solution is a product that you build or an idea that you give someone or a partnership or a collaboration that you work on, what's the problem that you want to solve? And then how do you want to solve that problem? And that means that I want you to create an idea. I want you to create a solution. In 2017, there were 50,000 acquisitions, and about 14,000 of those were here in the US. The whole package added up to about $3.5 trillion in acquisitions. That's how the world works. We tend to pay attention to some of the bigger acquisitions, right? In 2000, it was AOL buying Time Warner, and I remember that. I remember like this big deal that this internet company, AOL, that nobody knew about just a couple years before that, was buying a giant company like Time Warner. You know those deals, but you don't think of the 50,000 other deals that happen in the business world every single year. You don't have to go build a $500 million company. You can create a solution that's specific to a niche that you're passionate about. So I think it's an opportunity. I'm not saying to go out and build a company. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get a job. Getting a job is fine. It's getting an experience. I just want you to think for a minute that we live in a different world and that we have an opportunity to do things differently. All right, I have never seen the Golden Gate Bridge from this angle, and I'm gonna go take some pictures. This is really gonna suck going back up. That was a lot of fun. Can't wait to see how some of these pictures turned out. All right, so I'm done with my meetings and I got a couple hours before I have to head out. So I'm gonna go do some filming, take some pictures, go check out Fisherman's Wharf and Pier 39.
Chasing fame and being pretty all the time. Doesn't sound like fun. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better. You can do better.
Those seals are out in force today, huh? All right, so my trip in San Francisco is coming to an end. I like San Francisco. I make fun of San Francisco. I tweet out, I smell kale every time I land in California, but I joke. I love San Francisco. I love the town. One of the most photogenic places in the world. I always see something new when I'm here. I'm excited to speak to the students tomorrow morning and share this message that I've been sharing all week in this video, right? This idea that everything that you see, all the products and services from tech companies, from designers, from consumer products, all of them started somewhere with an idea. And so I don't want you to think about getting a job. That world is over. I want you to think about solving a problem. I want you to think about the problem that's out there that you're passionate about, that you want to solve, and then go solve that problem. And maybe sometimes that is completely in line with a company, right? A company says, we're looking for someone to solve this problem. And maybe that fits in perfectly with what you want to do. But oftentimes that's not how it works out. Find people who are interested in solving that problem as well, and then you can go collaborate with them. So as I close out this video, hopefully you got something out of it. Subscribe, share, change that mindset from I want to work for a company to I want to solve a problem. Don't work for Google, create a Google. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. So usually you get dropped off at 9 o'clock. We're dropping you off at 8 o'clock.
What?
Explain to me what you did. Okay, so
I taped it.
you taped it. So like that's normal. That's normal.
They're all normal.
That's normal.
They're all normal.
That's normal.
They're just all normal.
And there's Azella's.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I did.
I want to be daring, baby, dancing.
That's me.
Let my head down the fire one.